Hi there guys, welcome to session 5 in our strength endurance build. So getting ready, so we're going to start a workout in a second, so get ready to go. Okay, so let's start the workout then. We're just going to start with our customary 10-minute build, just getting walking, and I'll talk you through the session. It should be a very quick one. In terms of describing the session, it's a very simple session today. We've basically got 4x2 minutes at VO2 max at kind of above 5k pace, so it's kind of be like a 9 out of 10. So 4 times 2 minutes at a 9 out of 10 basically. 5 minutes of recovery in between. That's the session. So very simple. This strength endurance build, we are working on that kind of top end. So this is very much what we're up to. The challenge really, I mean, doing 4x2 minutes actually, that's a good nudge, but it's not crazy hard. The challenge is that we're not really going down to kind of pure recovery like walking or anything. It'll be down to sort of a 3 out of 10, back down to sort of your zone 2 area. Okay, so we're always on the move, and that is often where the challenge with these sessions lies. And in the discussion, with thanks to Phil for raising this question, I'm going to be talking about volume, and the question is, does more volume equal performance gains? You can probably guess already that the answer is not necessarily. Anyway, right, so let's start just moving, getting going, just steadily building up the effort until you're just breaking into a little jog. Okay, so just into sort of like a real 2 out of 10 effort. Just breaking into a jog. So we're going to start. So I've chosen this topic about volume to do it as part of a run session, because running really is the strongest example of how more is not more. Running is running and improving performance is such a balancing act. A bit of a tightrope sometimes, because just a little too much can end in injury, and really that's the crux of the issue. Why volume at all costs isn't beneficial. Recovery in cycling and swimming is largely about muscle repair and flushing out fatigue, whereas with running you have those two elements, plus you're dealing with the consequences of impact, of gravity. For example, that tight IT band, plantar fasciitis, or plantar fascia getting irritated, your Achilles held, etc. With running, it's so important to get the volume right and ensure you have enough time for repair between sessions. So let's just build up a tiny bit again, just up to maybe like a 3. I'll stick here for a little while. So yeah, running is very much, you can do really high quality sessions, but it's a real juggling act, making sure you can repair your body between those sessions, just because running does that bit more damage. But if we talk more generally, increased volume doesn't mean increased performance, for a number of reasons. There's no guarantee for a start that extra volume that you might want to chuck in is high quality, and we're always after high quality training. We're after consistency rather than perfection, and so any increase in volume has to be well thought out, and it has to have a specific purpose and align with your goals. Extra volume crammed into an already busy training plan, an already busy life, will have diminishing returns. If someone is already fatigued, from their current training and all the other stresses in their life, that extra volume is not going to help. Not even a little bit. They just don't have the capacity to absorb the stimulus in a positive way. It just adds more fatigue. So it's sort of super important to have a clear assessment of how your life works in reality and in practice, and then be realistic as to what you can achieve. You might not meet your performance goals, not because you lack talent or drive, but simply because you just have so much other stuff on your plate, and that is such a regular issue with athletes. Very ambitious, very driven people that just like life doesn't always work the way you want to, and that can be really hard for people who are so used to being good at everything. It can be hard for them to accept. And as a coach, it can be really hard one to get across, and you don't want to get blamed for it, So yeah, it's a challenging one. So it's really important to have that proper assessment of how your white life works and what capacity you have, because it just may not accommodate what your ambitions are. Also, it's important to acknowledge that people have different recovery rates, and that isn't always just down to fitness level. And people can handle volume differently. So all being equal, some just cannot handle volume in the same way as others. This doesn't mean that they won't be as good, and it doesn't mean that they can't find like an optimal rate of performance gain with a lower volume. It's just that higher volume doesn't work for that person. Now I'm just going to move up to 4 out of 10 for the final 2.5 minutes of this warm-up. Yeah, see, we all, like genetically, we all have strengths and weaknesses, and sometimes volume, adapting to volume, is just not necessarily something in your locker. And the final point is that your ability to handle volume can change over the years, and even week to week. Depends what else you've got going on. Depends how you look after yourself. Nutrition, hydration, sleep. I used to mop up volume like crazy in my 20s, and to be frank, I abused my body. And these days, I have to be really careful, particularly with running. So it's so easy to go over the edge for me these days, just because of everything else that's going on and the fact that my body's a wreck. And I actually get better gains from less training and doing shorter sessions than if I train like I used to, doing longer, drawn out sets, lots of volume. And something I think therefore we all have to establish: are your goals reasonable for the volume of training that you can handle? And are the types of events you're doing, do they work with your lifestyle? There's no fighting it, I'm afraid. Have as much time as you have, and your body recovers at the rate that it recovers. You have the things going on in your life that you have. Wishing things to be otherwise, I'm afraid, is a battle that's only going to go one way. So the answer to the question is, more volume doesn't always mean more performance. Anyway, last 25 seconds, then we're going to pause for our dynamics, Then we'll do the normal sort of 3-minute return to running before we get to the efforts. So, remember your cues, chin up, shoulders down, relax the hands, just a few more seconds, and then we'll pause. 3, 2, 1, there we go. Just pause the workout for a second. We'll go do our little dynamic stretches. So, same as always. We'll start off with our calf raises with heel taps. So, find something to help you balance up onto your big toe, or up your toes. Bring the heels together. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Remember to really emphasize that big toe. 8, 9, 10. Then walking calf raises. So just a little step right up into your toes and play 3, 3, 6, 7, 8. Okay, standing windmills, taking legs far apart as possible. Arms come up. You're going to twist towards one side, hinge at the hips, keeping the arms close to the ears, scoop across the front of your toes, up the other side, down, across the front again, to the start. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Loosened off the hamstrings a little bit there. Next one will also help. So leg swings forward and back, check behind you. Just going a little bit higher with each one. Quite often see people doing this in a bit of a lazy way. They really think about what you're doing, so kick the leg back as well, just to loosen off the front of your hip flexor. Yeah, that's about 7, 8, 9, 10. Other side. The really important one, loosening off the hamstrings and hip flexors. And this is, for me, I find this one always makes me feel a bit better before I get running again. About 10, and then across the front as well. 4, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 10. You can do some high knees, just staying on your toes, just drawing your knees up. I think about 20, so 10 each side. Nice and 20. Then we've got open the gate, so move forward up onto your toes, drawing the knee up to the side. And 5 on each side. 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then arm swings forwards, backwards, and across the chest. 10 of each. And backwards. 1, 8, 9, 10. And across the chest. There you feel just a little bit looser for that. And you're ready. Get back into running. So I'll go back onto the treadmill. We get my fan going as well. Sip of water. Okay. Right then, so let's get ready to go again. Mic issues. Horrible having a cable down your back when you get a bit sweaty. Starts to slide around, it's not a nice feeling. Right then. Okay. Go on, Mr. Cursor, there you are. Right, let's get going then again. So, Building back up. First to a 2 out of 10. Then we'll go up to a 3, then a 4, and we'll just chill out there. It's building slowly. To a 4 out of 10. Gonna be here for another 2.5 minutes, and then we're gonna go. We're gonna get straight into the VO2 effort. So VO2 is the maximum volume of oxygen basically your lungs can use at any one time. It's a real horrible edge before you go fully anaerobic. But it's a really key type of effort to do in order to improve like your top end pace and your ability to resist fatigue. This is the 4 2-minute efforts, so we're going to get up to a 9 out of 10 in about 1 minute and 45. So let's get started. Let's get kind of into a good habit now. Get the chin up, shoulders down, relax, shake hands out. Just make sure you're starting to really drive the knees, getting into a good stride. Nice and proud, chest is forwards. That sort of lean from the ankle, so that you basically, when people talk about leaning from the ankle, what it means is it's just kind of putting your center of gravity slightly in front of your toe, slightly in front of your feet. So it's not a ridiculous lean forward. It's just about, when I say chest proud, that kind of does most of the work. So sticking out, pushing your chest forwards. Rather than if I demonstrate it another way, standing bolt upright. So whenever I'm talking about something like this, a position, they're always really helpful to go to extremes. So try sort of leaning forward, like ridiculously, then come bolt upright, and then what you want is somewhere in between. Okay? So another 30 seconds at 4 out of 10. So it's nice and relaxed. And then we're gonna kick it up to a 5, to a 9. Okay, get ready guys, get focused. We're going in 10 seconds. Build into it. We've only got 2 minutes though, so it needs to be a relatively rapid acceleration, but not crazy. Here we go. 2 minutes, 9 out of 10. Building into it. You're not sprinting, so 9 out of 10. Having at least one gear left. Ninety seconds. Minute 15. Nearly halfway. Okay, 60 seconds, halfway. 9 out of 10. Shoulders down, chin up. Drive those knees. Not long. Thirty seconds. Fast lip push. 20. 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Easing right down now. We're keeping moving. keep jogging. Down to sort of 2.5, 3 out of 10. We've got 5 minutes here. We're going to recover on the move. So stay patient. Yeah, that's 1 down, 3 to go. But lots of recovery in between. So well done. So, I've caught your breath back. Running at 3 out of 10. So what I'd like to do after the session, once we've done all the intervals, is see how each of the VO2 intervals compare. It'll just give you a good sense of how good your pacing is. Because if you're working to RP rather than pace, what we want to get to is you being able to instinctively judge the effort and get the pace right and get it equal. Because 4 times 2 minutes, it's not an easy session, but it should be something that you can, each one should be equal basically is what I'm getting to. So have a look at how you fare after this session. It's not like you've done it wrong sort of situation. It's like, oh okay, I went too hard in the first one. When I do these kind of repeat interval type sessions, I just need to be a bit more conservative. It's just all about learning rather than you screwed this up. Okay? So have a little look after the session. Each one, hopefully, there'll be some variation. You're not a robot, but hopefully they'll be pretty similar. So nice and relaxed. 3 out of 10. Just a really easy jog. Hey, my legs didn't feel attached to my body in that, and that's pretty cool, by the way. That's one of the challenges of running. Is sometimes you can start a session and just feel really uncoordinated. That's another reason why we do the dynamics. And just gets that mind-muscle connection going. I'm expecting that the second interval I'll be a little bit more dialed in, because my effort was fine. Like, it was just didn't feel like my legs were part of my body. So yeah, but the important thing with things like that, guys, because it will happens to everyone. Sometimes it feels like that and you just can't hit the pace. That's all good. That's one of the reasons why more and more really training athletes call into RP when it comes to running. I know you get power pods and stuff like that, but they're not great. Technology is pretty limited, and I find with running, how you feel is different each session. Like cycling, I find much more, it's very clear cut how I feel, good or bad legs. Whereas running, because of gravity and impact, is much more, many more variables that can have an impact as to how your session goes. Important thing is just always try and remain positive and just do your best. So, got about 50 seconds, 5-0, till we go again. So make sure you're up to a 3 out of 10 effort. And get yourself mentally focused for round 2. 30 seconds. $20. Get ready. Remember, it's not a sprint into the interval. It's a relatively quick build, but work through the numbers in your head. Okay, that'll be a really good way of kind of getting the right pace. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. So from a 3 to a 4 to a 5 to a 6, 7, to an 8, up to a 9. Yeah, that took about 12, 13 seconds to get there. That's fine. It's still got a minute and 40 of hard work. So drive the knees, keep that chin up, drive the arms. Stay strong. 9 out of 10. Not sprint. Minute and 10 left. At halfway. $45 to go. Last 30. Got any seconds to do there? 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Down to a 3. Catch your breath. Crossing along. Being patient. Keep nudging up. The breath going in, and you're not compressing your airways. And exhale. With so that's 2 down, we're halfway, over halfway already. Still another 4 minutes of recovery. So don't panic, be calm in your mind. Just wait for your breath to come back. And maybe your legs as well. So hopefully you're finishing these reps still feeling strong. Still feeling like you can go for longer. If not, you're going a touch hard. 2 minutes at VO2 to be well within your capacity. As I said earlier, the challenge is the fact that we're not walking right now. You know, we're carrying on jogging and recovering on the move. Which is great for mental toughness. Although I remember doing a session where I talked about mental toughness as a load of nonsense. But hopefully you get what I'm saying. Confidence, build confidence. 3 minutes to see the easy jogging. Then we've got the penultimate rep. 2 minutes long. Well done, guys. Still got half the recovery to go, so still another 2.5 minutes of easy jogging. Try and keep as relaxed as possible. Two minutes, then we hit the penultimate rep. Final 90 seconds. Just keep it steady. Relax the face. Try not to like clench your jaw or anything. Chin is up. You're doing a great job. One more minute of recovery. Okay, 30 seconds. Let's get focused now. Let's just lift the knees a bit. And let's just get ready to accelerate. Remember, it took about 12-13 seconds to get up to speed last time. Ten seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, off we go. Building through. 4 to a 5 to a 6 to a 7 up to an 8. Really striding now, and up to a 9 out of 10 effort. Driving the knees, chin is up, pumping the arms. Seconds down, 90 to go. Stay strong, not far off halfway. One minute. Wait, 5. Last 30 seconds, you're really close now. 20. 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well done, guys. Down to a 3 out of 10. Patient. Wait for the breath to come back. Don't panic. Good stuff, guys. Well done, guys. You've just got one more effort and one more active recovery to go. So after the next one, we will be coming back down to a 3 for the 5 minutes again. We won't be straight into the cool down, okay? So just make sure you got that in your head as well. Don't want you to kind of tighten yourself out a little bit. We've just got one more to go. I felt that third one a lot more than the first, but I mean, it's helpful for me. I'm I'm on a treadmill so I can keep my pace perfect. But just remember, if you're outdoors, try and keep the effort. And if at all possible, if you're feeling good enough, keep the pace the same for each rep. That's 2 minutes. Another 3 minutes of recovery. Just crossing along at 3 out of 10. Another important lesson from this session is, we've done it before, and we'll do it quite a bit more going forwards, about being patient, disciplined, recovering on the move. And just remember, you can do this in a race. You might not need to do it for 5 minutes, but if you're really feeling it in a race, it is okay to slow down. Get back on top of it. Like particularly long course triathlon, there's so many ups and downs. It's really important not to kind of expect yourself to be a robot. And if you're suffering, you might just need a minute. If you're kind of by my own pace, sort of like a 5 out of 10, you might need a couple of minutes at 3, like this. Just trotting, still moving, maintaining momentum. But just give yourself a minute or two to kind of get on top of your breath, on top of your heart rate, and then you can steadily rebuild. And you're amazed how just taking a minute or so in a race can be fantastic for your overall result. Keeping things positive. If I flip that round, if you don't take that and you're suffering, you start to see an exponential drop in your pace. That can be demoralizing. A lot of this is about taking control. Take control of your result by sort of building in the recovery efforts if needed. Hopefully you're on a mega day and it doesn't matter. Just approaching a minute to go to the final rep. So 60 seconds at 3 out of 10. And then we lift off for the final time. Well done, guys. Try and make this one as smooth as the first. Into a 9 out of 10 effort.
I got that flow. I got that swag.
30 seconds and then we'll go for the final time. Get yourself ready, get focused, just lift the knees, touch, chin up, back shoulders, 15 and then we push. 10. 5 seconds, come on, get focused. 1, okay, off we go. Building up through the zones. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, up to a 9. Driving the knees, chin is up, arms are pumping. 90 seconds. Approaching 1 minute to go. Nearly halfway. Okay, 60 seconds. Stay strong all the way to the end. 45, last push. 20. Ten seconds left. 5, 4, all the way to end. 3, 2, and 1. Just sitting down. Let's go at 3. Keep going. Don't stop. Keep moving. Patient. Allow your breath to come back. 3 out of 10. This is the hardest recovery tool, because you think you're done, but this is the challenge of the session. This is the whole point. Getting you flooded with lactate and trying to get you keep moving and recycle that lactate on the move. So let's do the good things. Right, so chins up, shoulders down, push out the chest a little bit, shake out the hands, loosen them off. Your knees might not be driving super high. Just check you're not shuffling. And just wait, be patient. The breath will come back. So we've got another 3 minutes and 45 of easy jogging. And then we'll ease off into a walk. And I'll just do a quick recap of our chat. But now that don't think about anything other than putting one foot in front of the other and staying relaxed and get your breath. Well done, guys. Really well done. This session creeps up on you. That final rep. So as I said, make sure you check your intervals after the session, see how they compare, not to chastise yourself, but just maybe, you know, just sort of gauge how you're doing. So check your pace, check your heart rate as well. You know, if you're outside and you don't have a nice flat area to do this stuff on, and you've got some hills, it's important that you adapt your pace. Make sure your effort stays the same. So have a look at your heart rate. Was that consistent? And your heart rate will gradually raise. I mean, 2 minutes is not really enough time for your heart rate to get to kind of where that would reflect the effort. There's such a big lag time in your heart rate. Although yeah, it should get most of the way. But yeah. It's all just about seeing what's going on, really. It's not going to be shattering kind of news. But I generally want you guys to be looking at your numbers afterwards. Say, not necessarily to have some eureka moment, but just so you're familiar with kind of what your numbers are for a session like this, or for a VO2 interval. You know, because that is helpful. That is also just being an experienced runner, and it also means you can tell a little bit more objectively when you're on a bad day. And so it doesn't become this sort of mental struggle. You know, if your heart rate, excuse me, it's going to be 160 and you're nearly at 200 beats a minute. Oh, sorry. I kept needing to burp. Sorry about that. Horrible to witness, I imagine. It's got a little over a minute until we break into a walk, guys, but what was I saying? Yeah, if your heart rate should be like 160 and you're nearly 200 beats a minute, you know, something's not right. Either you completely misjudge the effort, or maybe you're carrying a bug, or you're just fatigued. But you've got to know where your heart rate and pace and etc. should be, or you can make those more objective judgments. So I think without that knowledge, the implication is that you should just be working hard all the time, and every session should be a smash fest. Yeah, just 30 seconds left. Keep going. Last 15. Here there, guys. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, slow right down. Just into a walk now. Just 3 minutes before you get stretching. So nice and chill. Just walk it out. So just a quick little recap of what we talked about. The question was, does extra volume mean more performance? And the answer, as I said, not always, and probably in most cases for you guys, I'd say rarely. I mean, if you've got big ambitions about qualifying or, you know, reaching a higher FTP, then yeah, high volume we might need to do in blocks, because rather than just like a general uplift, because you guys are probably already juggling a lot. And as I said earlier, it needs to be quality training rather than just training for the sake of it. Training that's just going to add to your fatigue levels and not really get you any further forwards. So it's always a conversation to have, but you do have to be brutally realistic, and it is really hard to achieve that sometimes. You know, you guys are all ambitious, driven people, and kind of realising actually I haven't got anything extra in the tank and I'm probably performing at as good a level as I can. And that doesn't mean you can't make performance gains, but it just means that they will not be exponential. And in those sorts of scenarios where you are time limited, it does become a little bit more about focusing on individual aspects to try and make improvements. But yeah, I think we all at some point in our lives, you know, we all would have gone through a scenario where really I would like to be doing more, and you know, perhaps my competitors are able to do more, but sometimes you just got to accept that I'm doing the best I can, and there's no kind of silver bullet, there's no extra time just sort of kicking around. You're probably already at your limit. So yeah, but talk about it. And it's always often easier to have somebody kind of state the obvious, and then it can just take the emotion out of it a little bit. Just another 20 seconds of walking and then I'll leave you be. But just remember, nice little stretch after this, get hydrated again, get the protein on, and get the recovery going. Last 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And there you go, guys. Thanks very much again, Phil, for that question. It's a very good one. And yeah, I will see you guys next time. Take care, everyone.